All right, today we are going to revisit subtracting fractions, which you did in grade 7. So, like adding fractions, the same rules apply. You have to have a common denominator before you subtract. And when you get to an answer, you need to make sure that you write in most simplified form. So if you can simplify your answer, do that. If you have an improper fraction, turn it into a mixed fraction, okay? So let's start off with the first question. 3 minus 3 over 5. So first of all, now, common denominators would help here, but you might be able to do this without doing that. Because if you think of this as 3 wholes, and this is not even 1 whole. So if you have 3 whole pizzas and you eat a partial pizza, you know that you're going to have 2 left over and a little bit. So now my question to you is in this question, because it's out of 5, that's how many pieces are in a whole. So if there's 5 pieces in a whole, and you eat 3 of them, how many are left? 2. So it's 2 and 2/5. And really, we didn't really have to do any kind of actual common denominators or anything else, just like that, okay? 2 and 2/5, that's it. All right? All right. Now we'll go on to the next one. And they do build in complexity here. So this next one is rather straightforward. We got 4 over 7 minus 2 over 7. So as long as the denominators are the same, and they have to be the same, well, then we know our answer is going to be over 7. That doesn't change. We just subtract the tops. And 4 subtract 2 is 2. So the answer is 2 over 7. Easy peasy. But again, what you have to do is you have to remember that the fractions have to have the same denominator. Okay? Now, the third question. 2 1/4 minus 3/4. Again, this is a common denominator. Great. The issue becomes, how do we take 3 away from 1? Well, we don't. Because then you're into negatives. And while you know how to deal with negatives,
How would you be a negative? Just
1 minus 3.
1 minus 3.
So we can't do that. So what do we have to do? Sorry?
Does it matter?
Yes?
Wait, did you take the whole one out?
Yes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take, all right, so we're going to take a whole and we're going to add it, but we're going to add it to the 1 over 4. So in this question, how many parts make a whole? 4, okay? So if I take one of the wholes away and make it a 1, then I take the numerator and I add 4 to it. So that means the question becomes 1 5/4 minus 3 over 4.
Just took away from that wall, you're saying?
Yes, I took 1 away from the whole, and in this question, because the denominator is 4, that means there's 4 parts in a whole. I added that number to the top, and that's where the 5 comes from. So now we can do this. We've got 1 minus 0, which is 1. And we have 5 take away 3, which is 2. So it's 2/4. But Parker, we aren't done yet. What can we do? We aren't done yet. What can we do? We can. Caden, help him out here. How do we simplify that?
Divide the 2 and the 4 by 2.
Giddy up. Divide the 2 and the 4 by 2. And what do we get, Caden?
1 over 2.
Beautiful. So we get 1 1/2, final answer. Okay? All right. Not so bad. See, there's a little bit more work involved with that one. Now let's go on to, all the questions so far have had the same denominator. And the next one will as well. So let's take a look at this question. 6 3/5 minus 2 4/5. So if I try and subtract 4 from 3, where's the issue?
3 from 1.
What's that?
Negative.
You can't.
I also get negative.
So we get 5 and 8/5.
By 5. Or taking away from
We take away from the 6 and we add 5 to the 3. So we get 5 and 8/5 minus 2 and 4/5. That doesn't change. Once we do that, then it's not so bad because 5 subtract 2 is 3. 8 minus 4 is 4. So the answer is 3 and 4/5. Can we simplify that? No. All right, next question. Here we go. 3 1/3 minus 5/2. 5/2 is an improper fraction, but these denominators are not the same. So we're going to make them the same. So Aaron, what would the common denominator be? The common denominator is 6. So it's going to be 3 and something over 6 minus something over 6. So how many 3's are in 6? 2. So we multiply 1 times 2, and we get 2. Now up here, how many 2's are in 6? So we multiply them both by 3. What's 5 times 3? 15. So we get 3 and 2 over 6 minus 15 over 6. Now this is an interesting question because if we treat it the way we've treated the last couple questions, we would just take one away from here and we'd be fine. But if we add 6 to 2, we only get 8. That's still not going to be enough. This is an improper fraction. So in order to kind of fight fire with fire, probably the best way of doing this is to turn this into an improper fraction.
Well,
So if we turn this into an improper fraction, what would it be?
you take
14 over 6?
What? No.
you swap them.
What's that? It's 20 over 6. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So it's 20 over 6 minus 15 over 6. So if this number is an improper fraction, it makes sense to make this number an improper fraction. Now we have both denominators are over 6. So now we can go ahead and do the subtraction. So 20 over 6 minus 15 over 6 is equal to what? 5 over 6. And 5 over 6 does not need to be turned back into a mixed fraction because it's less than 1. So the answer is 5 over 6.
So we're number left over with not a single whole.
So again, this is a different question. Again, if we're subtracting an improper fraction, it may make sense, probably will make sense, to turn this into an improper fraction, which we did, and then we were able to go ahead and do the subtraction. In this case, there's no simplifying we need to do either, because there's no number that goes into 5 and 6. So we got one more question to do, so here we go. All right, what's our common denominator going to be? So let's make the common denominator 24. So, how many 8's go into 24? So we multiply the top by 3. And 7 times 3 is?
21.
Very good. How many 6's go into 24? So we multiply the top by 4, and it's just 4. Now, in this case, we're okay, in the sense that you can take 21 and you can subtract 4 from it. There's no borrowing that needs to happen because we can just straight up do it. So this is an easier question because we don't have to do that borrowing. So you're not always going to have to do the borrowing. The only time you have to do the borrowing is if what you are subtracting is more than what you're subtracting from. 4 is not more than 21. So what's 7 take away 4? 3. And what's 21 take away 4? 17. So it's 3 and 17 over 24. Now, does this question need to be simplified? No. 17 is a prime number, which means that the only numbers that go into it are 1 and 17. And 17 does not go into 24. So this is in its most simplified form. the biggest takeaway I can tell you is not all your answers need to be simplified, but you do need to simplify the ones that need it.
Wait,